Groovy.
Questions and shit. Like, we're keeping this whole thing. I'm not editing any of it. It's just too good, man. It's too good. We're just fuck it. Just jump into it.
I guess I asked him a couple things.
Yeah.
What made you want to do a horror podcast?
You know, honestly, I started in doing horror podcasts because Sawguy Podcast is actually my second one. I started one back in 2013, and me and my buddy, we were friends at the time. And he was like, hey, let's talk about a horror podcast. And I'm like, what the hell is a horror podcast? You know, I didn't know anything about it. And then he kind of explained it to me. I was like, oh, that shit kind of like talk radio? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down for that. You know,
I learned what it was from Kevin Smith. So, yeah, there you go.
Exactly, you know. And when we started it, I mean, it was, we were two different creative minds, you know. He wanted to do one thing. I wanted to do another. And I came up with a lot of the ideas and stuff. And it's unfortunate because we had a falling out, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bow out, be a professional. I tried to retire, and then I had that itch, you know, seeing podcasts like your guys's and everybody else's. I just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go on my own.
You're having fun doing it. You're thinking about shit you like, and you're you know this we're all cracking up and you know telling dick and fart jokes and shit, and, you know, whatever.
Exactly, like, you know. And when I started this whole thing with Sawguy Podcast, because my previous podcast, I didn't, you know, wear a mask. I figured, okay, I want to wear a mask, and then that way you add depth and layers to it. And I wanted to do it YouTube, but also have an audio version. So, I mean, you can listen to like on the car drive or whatever, but then you can also enjoy it and see it visually. And judging from my first episode to now, I've grown a lot because I didn't know anything about video editing. I bought a video editor, and I started practicing with it, and little by little, I got better. And then now I'm at to where I'm at because, you know, I keep watching other YouTubers like, oh, this is how you do this, how do you do that effect, and and you know, it's just fun. It's the enjoyment for it, and then to bring out the fact of horror, you know.
Oh, dude, horror. Oh God, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. I had to lock myself in the studio for 6 hours to learn how to edit, but I did it. God damn it! And
shit.
Yeah, man. I went. We were talking one night, and all right. Hey, man. All right, good night. And I was like, fuck this shit. And I sat there and I smoked a whole pack of cigarettes, but I got it. God damn it. And I was all patting myself on the back and shit for 3 days. I was like, yeah, man, I did that. What's up? You know.
You know,
so,
it's hella
gotta do
rewarding.
It. You got to do it. So,
yeah. It's hella rewarding when you do it because you think like, holy shit, I actually produced that. You know, like I didn't know I could do it like this and have it like that. And,
that's my shit. That's my shit, man. Woo! Yeah, it's fun.
You know,
it's efficient. You know, then you don't have to worry about it. You fuck it, I'll do it. You know, so yeah, absolutely,
exactly. You know, and that was one of the issues that I ran into a lot in my previous podcast is where we would do a lot of audio, but it's just for me, I feel like you got to have it to where you're engaging. You know, because I mean, the more that you're engaging, the more you make it fun, little things here and there, sound effects, clips of a movie, something, you know, you make it more enjoyable versus just like the straight, you know. And I learned that from my first episode.
You got a lot of production value in your videos, and it's very impressive, man. Very impressive. So
I was gonna say that because like the last, I don't know which one, it was like a couple weeks ago maybe. You put up one with a like a devil mask, and it was like a bunch of like lightning and all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Oh shit, yeah. You know, honestly, that's what I'm still working on because I'm working on my next episode on Secret Window. And you guys seen Secret Window, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I figured I was going to play on it, you know, because the whole movie is Johnny Depp and John Shooter. Well, John Shooter is a figment of his imagination from his demons. Yeah. So that's where I was like, oh shit, I'll bring back the demon. And then that's when I figured, okay, I was going to act out some of the scenes. And then when I decided to do it, I was going to do where he leaves a mask and he says, hey, you steal my mask instead of the story. That way I have, you know, some different love for the mask that I normally don't wear. And so during the trailer, I don't know if you guys caught it. I'm wearing one mask and then I walk away and then I'm looking and it's the mask that I'm wearing now. So it's like messing with his mind.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't even fucking catch that, man. Holy shit! All right. I'm dumb.
I try to have little
days away. So
yeah.
No, that's cool. You know? That's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, so awesome. I mean, it's just something a little different, you know, because I always try to do like trailer announcements with the episodes. Some will call it extra. I say, screw it, just gotta have fun with it, man. You know, just if I'm gonna hype up an episode, I want to hype it up to get you to think like, oh shit, he's gonna release it this time, you know. Yeah. And so that's what I exactly excitement, do. Man.
So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
No, that's good. Now, all right, I'm really admiring the mask you have on now. Oh, these are your creations, right?
Yeah, because what I do,
all right, cool.
You'll see. I buy the plain Jane masks. I call them Billy. Mm-hmm. It's just plain Billy style. And from my mask videos, I did a few of them, and then everyone started asking me like, "Hey, do you buy the mask? Do you pay somebody else to do it?" I said, "No, I do everything all in house." And so for the longest time, yeah, it was crazy because for the longest time I would have a lot of trolls that are saying, "Oh no, you don't do it, you don't do it." So I said, "All right, screw it." So that's where the idea came from, making all the masks. And for each one, I have various different ones for it. So I have this one, I have the Joker one. I did a really big one where I called the Scarecrow, where I put, you know, the plaster that you put on for sheetrock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I put that over it. What was it? I put twine on the eyes. I pulled out the eyes and the mouth, so that way it looks like it's a scarecrow, but like a swamp scarecrow. And I did that for an episode for Hatchet. And I did that purposely because behind the mask, my eyes, they're naturally yellow. And so it made the mask pop out so much when I put the black makeup on. And I wanted to do that effect because of, you know, in Hatchet, you see his eyes, you see his close-up of his face. It's creepy as hell. So I wanted to go for that effect.
All right. That's cool as fuck, man. Holy shit. It's fun because I mask myself. I'm actually working on a Jason 7 for Chris at the moment. So
oh shit.
Yeah, dude. That's why I'm all over that shit. I'm looking at it and just nice. Cause like you know, primer, sandpaper, fucking your best friends, dude. Your best friends. So
shit, yeah. Tell me about it, dude. I'm admiring the gold mask right behind you, right there.
Because I almost wore that tonight to fuck you up. I almost wore that because I'm like, he's not going to be expecting that shit. Straight up. So that's my Giallo. That's my Giallo killer mask. I like that.
Dude. I love that mask because I saw it in the store, and when I bought it, I said, you know what? I wanted to. I guess you could say I was going to retire this one, and I was going to go and do like a year or two. And I thought, okay, each year I'm going to wear a different mask. Didn't work out that way because I didn't fit it on my face properly. And so I did all the work and it looked badass, but it didn't look good. It didn't fit good because then you couldn't hear my voice, you know? And I gave it a little bit of love by putting it into the Secret Window trailer where I wear it because I put the whole Ouija board planchet and everything. It looked badass. The yes and no on the cheeks. And I was like, oh, I want to wear this mask so bad, dude. But the thing that sucks is that, like, wearing a mask, you have to always, you know, factor in like, okay, can you hear me through the mouthpiece correctly? Things like that. You know? Yeah.
Scrap. So I'm like, I'm not doing this bullshit right now because it was like 2 minutes before we called you, and I'm like, I'm already sweating, man. God damn it. So yeah, no.
Yeah, it gets pretty hot down there.
Motherfucker, is Jesus Christ. It's April. It's like 87. Fucking suck my balls. God damn it.
Well, you know, it was funny because last year I went to Monsterpalooza. It's like one of the biggest horror conventions out here in Cali. And I went through the whole convention for 2 whole days. And I just nonstop wore my mask. Wore it with me everywhere.
How much did you lose?
Well, see, that's the funny thing. Everyone's like, did you glue that shit to your face? Like, can you breathe? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm cool, man. Like, you know, after wearing it for so long, the first year, my skin got used to it. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And I have like tons of cushions in between. So that way I have like that much space in between. So yeah, it's not as bad.
It's almost like wearing a second face.
Oh, yeah. Well, for like this one, I had to actually, the bear, I had to get some foam and put it in it because I put it on and the nose was going up my fucking nose. And I'm like, no. And so yeah, some of these have foam in them. Well, plus I'm fat, so my face is like a bowling ball. So it touches parts of my face that it doesn't on other people, you know, fucking skinny guys. Yeah, but I'm right there with you.
Right I got some masks that won't even go on my big ass head. I got the pig mask from Saw.
Oh,
got a
dude, that's
bitchin'
my
collection.
favorite,
I always think it's, to me, it's like a throwback to Motel Hell with Farmer Vincent when he puts that pig head on, you know?
Yeah. Oh shit. I freaking love that movie. Yeah. That's the whole reason why I was buying chainsaws, because of that damn movie.
Takes all types of critters to make Farmer Vincent. That's awesome.
Shit.
You know. So all right. So what's up, Saul? That's the topic. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you before we get into it. What are your thoughts on the Chris Rock reboot?
My thoughts on it, you know,
like from the trailer, I guess there's not a whole lot of info out there yet, but
you know, I always had hoped with Saw, the way they ended 3D was great. You had Hoffman and Gordon, and then he throws the freaking saw blade out, and he's like, game over. And I thought, okay, if they do a sequel to this, they got to do it right, where they both come out and it's a cat and mouse game, they die, and then it ends up being a cult following. Well, Jigsaw came out and threw a wrench to that. I want to believe that Chris Rock sees the vision that I see too, where he's just like, you know what? That's the way to carry this on, is that it's a cult of people following Jigsaw's work. And the title, to me, gives it away because it says Spiral from the Book of Saw. It makes me think that they're going to take a page out of the, what was it, the Oklahoma City bomber, where he read the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah, the Manifest, that's right. Manifest, that's right. Yeah.
You know, and so I figured he was going to do, like, the story's going to follow that he has, like, this underground book, and then people start following it, and then that's where this whole movie takes place. And then it's going to do a spin-off on a whole new trilogy with it, which I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be good. You know, because now you refresh the franchise and you can carry it on.
Oh, yeah. You're painted into a corner or anything like that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Wow. Listen, the first Saw is my absolute favorite. It is my absolute favorite. Now, I've seen, you're going to hate me. Well, not hate me, but you're going to be like, yeah, nah. I've seen up to part, I think it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen 6, and I haven't seen, what is it, Jigsaw or Saw 3D?
Yeah,
I'm lame.
Jigsaw 3D. Yeah.
But the first one, dude, I will fist fight somebody about the first Saw movie. Like, listen, spoilers, kid. It's the fucking tits, man. When he stands up, I fucking whoa! Like, I lost my shit when he fucking stands up. The key to that lock is in that tub. You're like, whoa! You know, fucking loved it,
like
man.
the
I
whole
loved
time,
it.
like you couldn't.
Well, the way it puts everybody together. Like, Kramer's a master fucking manipulator, man. Like, it's brilliant the way Juan and Winnell tied everything together, man. So, wow. But listen, I'm gonna straight up give you cred. You have to be like an authority on Saw.
Well, he is the Saw guy. I mean,
he's a Saw guy, man. You know, really. Throw props, man.
The first time I saw Saw, I saw it back when it was still underground, because I have a cousin that worked in Hollywood. He was going to school at the time. He's like, hey, they're showing like this horror film, and they're showing it, you know, for people that are going to film school and stuff. He goes, I got an extra ticket. You want to go? And I'm like, He's like, come on, you would like this. And it was the first Saw. And I'll never forget my reaction while watching it. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be something big. They're going to release this. And next year is when they released it. And then it took off, man. You know, it was just
big time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It puts so much.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. I was going to say, what I loved about it, it ties in everything right now, what's going on in the world as far as quarantine goes, because you have Dr. Gordon on one end and you have Adam on the other. They can only communicate, but they can't touch each other. You know, it's kind of a play on the whole quarantine thing going on, because you can, how do you say it? You can look, but don't touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
it has
a
to
club.
Yeah.
It's a sketchy part of town, man. It's a sketchy part of town. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think I put it on my quarantine watch list also.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Because I freaked out. I was like, oh, fucking Saw. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta think it's 2 people in one room, like he was saying, you know, can't touch each other and isolation. Great movie.
Oh yeah. And you know, the thing that people forget about is that isolation and, you know, solitude is good, but when you have it to a certain point, I mean, it really makes you appreciate Jack Torrance from The Shining. That motherfucker did it for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Right.
And here in Saw, they only could do it for a day, because they were chained up for 6 hours. They woke up and they were in there for another 12 hours. And it makes you really think of how people's minds can unravel during this whole craze and things like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, because I mean, if you get one certain thought in your head, one seed, it can just destroy and unravel and corrupt and it can deteriorate your brain. Just one bad thought, and the circumstances, whatever the case may be, it can really fuck you up big time. And that's glorious in the movie, man. Like, it really does.
Well,
they start, doubting each other. You know what I mean? And it's like, fuck him. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
The craziest part was when he had the picture of his wife and daughter, and they didn't explain much. He gave the bag to him with the Saw, but then he kept the picture and he kept looking at it, and it had the clue where it says, if you shut off the lights, you can see it or whatever. And it plays into a lot what you were saying, where if you have one idea, we're like, hey, he told me he didn't know it, but he knew it. He knows something's what's up. And then that's when they start going back and forth. And it played off so good in the film, because now you have that Quentin Tarantino style where it's the ending, but then it's playing it backwards.
Yeah, not. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. So, because we don't have like a format here. We just kind of fucking roll with it, and usually KC has questions proper, and I just sit here and I'm like, okay, I got one, and I'll fucking jump in. Like I'm,
Yeah, I was gonna say about the budget though, for this movie being only 1.2 million and doing 103.9 at the box office. That's almost like unheard of.
That's pretty cool for
But that's like the soul of a horror movie, where it's like, look, we can make this on the cheap and we can cash in. You know what I mean? So but
it's almost on like Friday 13th level, like, but way more. Like,
Made the movie for $37. And
Oh shit. It's crazy to think, because they filmed that whole movie not only with that shoestring budget, but they filmed it all in one building. I don't know if you guys know this. They filmed it all in one like tiered building, where like the bottom part was the bathroom, the middle part was like the Dr. Gordon's house.
I didn't know that. Holy shit! I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, like a huge warehouse they used.
Yeah.
No shit. All right. I was upset about Danny Glover and his assistant. I was kind of fuck, man. Fuck.
But I got to tell you, from being a Saw super fan, that doesn't end Detective Tapp's storyline. I don't know if you guys ever played the Saw video game. You ever played the Saw video game?
Oh God. Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
Man,
I could hardly get past like the second level.
Yeah, because they had the dude in the chain box, and he's swinging a fucking bat with what do you call it, with nails through it and shit coming after you. If you play through the game, I mean, I lost so much freaking days of my life with that. You find out the whole game follows the story of Danny Glover's character. So he gets shot, but then Dr. Gordon or somebody, they stitch him back up, and he's still stuck there. And he has to go through and find out, like, why is this guy in a pig mask fucking with him? And, you go through the whole game, and then you have two endings. One where you can get out, or the other one you can find out who the pig mask is. And you go out, and let's say if you take the choice where you see who the guy is, you find out that it's his detective, his partner, it's his wife. She had a poison in her, and she had to make sure that he would suffer and not forget about the fact of, or is it in Saw 4, where they said, make sure the scene is cleared before you go into there, So it played on a lot of that, and it built up to the storylines later. And I was like, oh, shit. But they never, they did part 1 and part 2 of the video game, just the controls. And a lot of people were like, they didn't like it. But it had a great fucking story to it. Like, it centered a whole round of the, Saw universe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, like, I played it, I think the first one. But it was, like, so hard for me. Like, it was one of the levels, I think you're trying to find some numbers on the wall. And I could never figure out the right numbers and could never get past that level.
Oh, man. Shit. Wow.
That was hard because
it adds to the story, man. It adds a whole nother fucking layer to the story. I love that shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ignorant to it. I never played it, but that's awesome. That's awesome. No, I almost bought the first one. Motherfucker, I wish I did. But no, that's cool. That's cool. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, they had a lot of different variances with it. At the time when Saw 2 was coming out, I was working at Hot Topic, and this is before Hot Topic became kid friendly. They started, marketing to kids and stuff. When I worked there, they had a bunch of Saw 2 exclusive stuff. So they had the Saw comic that they call Rebirth. So it explained why John was going mad. He was a toy maker and stuff, and he didn't like the people that was fucking with them. And those are the ones that he put in the trap in the first one, like the razor wire guy. Mark.
The ones cut the pieces out of? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, the jigsaw pieces, yeah.
Technically, he hasn't killed anybody. So,
yeah.
Love it, man. Love it.
Oh. And, the most brutal trap, everyone's going to say, oh, it's the jaw trap, where she had to stab the guy in the stomach and get the key. Mine, I tell you this, the first one has to be where the dude's butt-ass naked, and he's got KY jelly all over his body.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, when he catches on fire.
Crispy fucking critter, man. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Yeah.
Dude. No. I'm going to be honest. I never walk out of my house barefoot. I never walk around barefoot anywhere. And then when I saw that scene where he steps on the glass and goes, I fucking twitched, dude. I was like, oh, man, that shit's going to hurt, dude.
And I've stepped on Lego before. I cannot imagine that.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, me and this Lego, we still got fucking business. We still got fucking beef. Let me tell you,
Ooh. I hate Legos, man. That I wouldn't doubt if they actually did another scary movie and they redo that scene, but they put fucking Legos all over there.
That'd be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I would die at that, dude.
Wow. All right. So what was it about Saw that fucking just clicked with you, that drew you in, like consumed you, man? Because
the thing I will tell you with Saw, is it was one of those films that changed the world of horror forever. Back in the 80s, you had Friday the 13th, the first one, that really, reinvigorated all the slashers, and then you had Freddy Krueger that came out mid 80s, early 90s, I remember, because I was still a kid, I remember Ghostface, and then you had all the teen slashers, and then everybody wanted to do a fucking teen slasher. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legends, fucking
look the same. Scream started that shit, and then it just, it went like cookie cutter after that, and I adore Scream.
I don't like the posters, but I love those movies.
Yeah, Scream is wonderful, man. Holy shit! It shows you
the second
motivated
one,
like what you can do with broken a cell phone. So
I was gonna say when the second one came out, I was like 10, and my grandparents took me to the theater to see it. So it's just to me like it holds a special thing, special place in my heart, because I was able to go and do that with my grandparents at like 10 years old.
Oh damn!
Badass, man. That's badass. First time I took a girl on a date was the first Scream. So
fuck!
Hell yeah, dude. That's all. Yeah. So
and the thing with Saw, I will tell you this, is that I was at the point where I was in high school, and when I first saw it and it became big, I realized, holy shit, this is my generation of everybody that grew up with Freddy, Jason,
this is
Ghostface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hellraiser, Pinhead, yours, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was mine and mine alone. And to this day, I still believe that, because after Saw came out, then you really had it from 2005 to 2010. Everybody wanted to push the envelope on the gore, Everybody wanted to see more gory scenes. And then right after that, you had a copycat that came out, which was Hostel, and Hostel's a great story. But if you ever watch the film, it's more or less, it emphasizes on the gore part,
it's
where
for
it shows the chick with the eyeballs.
Yeah. Achilles heel, that still fucks me up, man. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But yeah, gore just to do it, Well, they nicknamed those guys the Splat Pack, Eli Roth, James Wan, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's yours and yours alone. Like, this is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, plus, I mean, he has a good message. Some people are so ungrateful for the life they have.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
It is a great message.
It's
wholesome. Wholesome, for the family.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because every one of them, they do play off on that. And if you actually think about it, people, they really don't, they take a lot of stuff for granted. They really aren't appreciative of certain things, whether it be like, say, for instance, if you have a family member that was suffering from some kind of illness, and, it's one of those things where it's like, well, he's suffering for him. I'm still do whatever the fuck I want to do. And then it's like, Jigsaw comes out, wrong, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, like if you look from his point of view, why me? Why me? Yeah. And you have all these other people who just, they don't care, man. They're just going through life, just not even, being grateful for what they have, appreciative. And I can see that. It's probably because I'm a sick fuck and, whatever. But it's like, I'm taking you with me, or I'm going to at least make you fight for it. So like, that's why I really like the first Saw, man. It's like, got fucking gangbusters, dude. It's awesome. So.
Oh yeah, definitely a great story.
Yeah, and the thing I will say with Saw, I would be totally stoked if they just did a one and done. They didn't have to do a sequel. If they would have did a one and done on that, I mean, shit. Hey, more power to them,
So fucking satisfying. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh man.
Take a cigarette after you eat food. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And then they come out with like, oh, we just greenlight, Saw 2, and that was a week after they re-released, the first Saw. I was like, holy shit, there's a part 2 coming out.
It was cool to see Shawnee Smith as dude, because he's still my fucking heart, dude. Like, kid, and I saw her in Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy.
Yeah.
And as like, like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, I was like, hey, what's up, girl? Hey,
man.
And to see, grown up and looking all hot and fucking sassy. Then you find out you're like, oh my God. Yeah.
Well, I loved her in the Blob remake. When I saw her jump on top of the truck and she was shooting the fucking blob, I was like, oh man. That's gonna be my future wife one day.
Yeah. Awesome.
Man.
I don't want to get off topic because we're talking about the first one. What did you think when they killed Kramer off and they did the autopsy? Like, were you like, no? Or
I knew that was the spawn of like another set of sequels that they're going to do to it. So when they did part 3, I knew it was going to go all the way up to 6. I knew they were going to do that because they were going to play off the whole like, okay, he already had somebody else in place. And, the way they played it out was perfect. How they had Mark Hoffman in there and how he, he liked brutality. He liked doing it for the fun of it. He was a sick fuck like us,
Yes, there you go. You can relate.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where he thought he was untouchable, and John knew about it. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to test you because you're an asshole and you're not supposed to do and twist up my vision for this. And the way they did part 4, how it was tied in with 3.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And then, then you have part 5 where it ends up being that he gets out and then the cop knows about it. And so it becomes like good cop, bad cop. And the way they ended that, I was kind of disappointed how they cut so much out at the ending of part 5 because it shows, what's his name? Agent Strom. He's stuck on the wall and it smashes him. And if you watch the unrated scene, he's like screaming and then it shows more bones and shit break out. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking brutal. Like y'all should have kept that shit in there, because it made like, it was like the version of getting the book and slamming that shit down on the table saying this story's going to end. And, the way how they ended it with part 3, because part 3 is my favorite out of the whole series.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I would say 3 in the original, they're the top 2, like neck and neck for me. Because with part 3, I love the whole aspect of vengeance where the guy, all he cared about was to go after the dude who killed his son. He neglected his wife, his kid, and then I mean, now you also tie in psychological out there because there's some people that might have gone through that, and that's what makes it a little bit more scary. Is now when you start messing with the mind power and people's imaginations run loose. And I was like, I'm liking this side of Saw.
Yeah. Especially with your kid, man. I have, dude, if you fuck with my daughter, I'm going to rain sulfur down on you. So, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, it's that's where I loved it because it started getting a little bit more brutal, and then especially with the tracks, they got a little bit more unique with the rack where the guy was twisted up on the cross.
Oh, when they twist the fucking arm, dude. God damn it. Yeah, it's tough. The one track, she sticks her arms up to get the antidote, and the razors are fucking fuck you. Woo! Keep it. No, rip. Yeah, that no, can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
and the pit of needles, that was fucked up, man. Holy shit.
Ooh, what's crazy about the pit of needles? They had to stop shooting it because they actually mixed in the real ones with the fake ones in there.
I heard that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was true or not. Like that's legit, like real.
That's
like,
legit. Yeah.
Motherfucker, son of a bitch. This made it even more.
Oh
blue.
Man.
Wow.
It's crazy, dude. But I mean,
wow.
You know what Saw, what I loved about it is it changed the world of horror because everybody all wanted to be that copycat where we could push the edge, we could push it, we could drive it. What really killed it, I think, was when they got too intense. And I'll say it like this, like I can't remember what film it was. No, Suburban Film. I don't know if you guys seen Suburban Film. Have you?
Oh, Serbian film? Yeah, that's it's fiction, but I've seen so many people like walk away just jacked from that movie. And I'm like, it's make believe, right? It's not make believe, but just the subject matter is enough to tweak your fucking nips, dude. So it's
and see, it was going to peak eventually, and it did with that. And then at the same time, while you have that going on, you have Paranormal Activity that came out and started surpassing Saw, and then everybody wanted to do fucking supernatural films after that.
Oh God!
And then you had Insidious, you had Conjuring, you had tons of Paranormal Activities, and then I like to call them red box movies, like those movies that are like straight to Hulu and Netflix.
Encounters, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
The Ouija
We're gonna put our money shot on the poster, so fucking absolutely.
Yeah. And so I mean, with those films,
Chris, we can't hear you.
Oh,
no, it's all good. It's all good. He's gonna do it. If it doesn't work, he's gonna beat the fucking shit out of this thing.
Not good.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that, man.
Technology, man.
Give it a fucking pimp slap, man. Fucking keep your pimp hands strong.
Oh shit.
Now, what was it? God damn it. Showing my old memory, slipping in my old age. It was the one where it was the two ice blocks come down.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking smash the new kid on the block. Holy!
That was part 4.
That's okay. Yeah. That one kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, "Holy shit, man! They killed fucking Donnie Wahlberg," know. And see, that's one thing that was cool about some of the ones that followed, because it's like, even though it might have been like someone familiar. Saul didn't give a fuck. They were like, we'll kill anybody at any fucking time. And it was cool because to me, that was a throwback to like Friday the 13th. The crowd, the early 80s slashers. So it was kind of cool, man. It was kind of neat to see that. So
two things I want to add to that. One is where they would kill off everybody, but the one that got the most brutal was Saw 3D or Saw 7. That's where Hoffman, he just goes ape shit. And all these people that you remember from the first film, like the doctor that, did all the autopsies, he fucking shaked his ass. Like, he killed everybody off towards the end. But what I loved about the whole series is that the way how it ended on the first one, they said, I don't know if you guys remember, but back on MySpace and, early stages of Facebook and on YouTube, they would make like these promotional videos, like, what do you think will happen? And like they throw out little hints, like what was inside the safe,
Yeah, that's right. I think I'm with Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, he was everybody's friend, and everybody's
friend. Yeah. He was still around back in the days of Saw.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I totally fucking forgot about that. You said that. That's right.
Yeah.
These like clues, and you had to deduce them and shit. That's right. Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, it made it interactive. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Like in Saw 3, the craziest thing that I thought was, before he swallowed the tape, he poured wax on it, and then he swallows the tape. and everybody started this whole hype movement, and they called it "What the fuck was on that tape," and everybody was hyping it up for the whole year. And then I remember I was one of the first people to go see Saw 4, and I went to go see it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like that what? Like I didn't understand the tape, and then you see Saw 4 play out, and it's like, "Oh shit!" You know, it was kind of like, I guess you could say, you see a lot of, you know, shows and movies do that now, like Walking Dead. They did that with Negan when Negan came on, and you know he hit the camera, and then he's like, "Oh, take it like a champ," and then they played it for a whole year. Who did he kill? Who did he kill? You know,
that was some dirt shit they did, man. I was like, man, I wish I would have had a fucking screen in front of my TV because I was gonna throw the cat at that motherfucker. Like, no, I'm kidding.
I was pissed. I was like, "What the fuck?"
That was dirt. And they did it with Glenn too, because you thought he got killed. Like, really? That's how they fucking did him? They did him dirty. And they started doing kind of like cheap tricks, man. You know.
Yeah.
But
and see, I'm all for the you know the dirty tricks and stuff like that, as long as it has a good payoff. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love watching like old school wrestling. They build up the story to it, and then they have a blow off match where it's like, you know, they have like a ECW style hardcore match, and they're just beating the shit out of each other. And then eventually somebody wins. It's like, all right, I'm cool with that, you know?
It's fucking settled. Yeah. I do want to say the posters for Saw were aesthetically, I mean, they were morbid and, you know, dark, but they were aesthetically beautiful. Like Saw 3 with the you know, especially I think it's with his head in the scale. Like, those posters, man, whoever designed the art department, they're wonderful, man. They really are. Like, it was part 5, I think, with the IV and I can't remember what it is. Yeah, it's like a clamp. That's it. Yeah. They just looked really cool. And even the DVD packages were neat because they were clear, they had acetate on them, and it looked cool. You know, it just
they did.
Oh yeah. And then they bring them back the next year, like say if Saw 2 was coming out, they're like, "Oh, we're re-releasing Saw 1, but this is director's cut," and had the gel where the saw blade moves. Then they did that every year for the film. And I remember when Saw 5 got re-released, they had a special packaging where you push the button and then the saw blade would spin and then it'd make the sound effects. I was like, "Oh fuck."
That's so
cool. So I'm buying like 4 or 5 of every damn version of the movie.
You got a whole shelf full of Saw. Yeah, you fucking man. Shit. It's your shit. Do it. You know, that's awesome. Well, like I have the 2-disc of the original Saw where it has like sawed off and all that stuff. And really like that cover because it's a fucking arm just chilling on the floor. And it's like, hot damn, dude, what the fuck went wrong in here? And it really looks cool. Really looks cool. So
they did a lot of great work on the art. I mean, out of all of them, they all told a story. I don't know if you saw that, like with the arm being cut off and the foot. My favorite was Saw 5 because it kept telling you that Hoffman was a part of it because it showed the guy and then he had a skin mask of Jigsaw's face. And,
pin on. That's right.
That was my favorite, dude. Like as soon as I saw that poster, next day I got it tattooed on me.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Real deal, sir. He's a real deal.
Oh yeah. Well, I normally don't show off my ink, but I'll show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see. Hold on. My first tattoo was Billy. I don't know. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice. I like it.
And I carried on that tradition with every movie. I go and get a Saw-related tattoo. So I got Billy. Then I got the pig mask. Then I got a saw blade on my gut. I don't know. You guys follow wrestling?
I grew up in the 80s because I'm an old fart. So I was around for like Andre the Giant, the Iron Sheik, Rowdy Roddy Piper. He was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
I stopped watching right after NWO.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Yeah. I still kept watching it, but they had this one wrestler, Batista. You know, everybody knows Batista.
Batista.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. You know, and he had a tattoo of a sun on his belly button. And for the longest time, I was like, that's badass. I want to do something that's different, but do something similar like that. And then I thought, what the fuck? I'll do a saw blade. So I got a whole saw blade tattooed around my gut. And everybody, they still trip out on that. They're like, "What the fuck? Why'd you get a saw blade on there?" I'm like, "Cause a saw blade."
I can, motherfucker. Yeah, I can, bitch. That's fucking great. Great.
You know, and so I mean, I carried on that tradition. Every year when a new Saw film comes out, I always get a new tattoo for it. So I have the puzzle piece. I have, you know, Detective Hoffman wearing the skin mask of John, various different ones. I know for this new one, what I was thinking was doing a spiral probably on my elbow and do that whole spiral thing where it's like melting down. That'd be badass.
Okay, cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
now, do you collect the toys when they, you know, they made like, all right, I fucked up and I wanted Billy on the tricycle from NECA. Like, I seriously wanted that. I would have beat up an old lady in a store for that fucking toy.
Oh,
missed
shit.
out. Couldn't find it. Missed out because that's very iconic, man. You know, Billy on the train and comes riding it. Like, are you a toy collector as well? Because it's Saw.
Oh, like, yeah, dude. Like, I remember none of the Saw stuff came out until Saw 3 was coming out because I had to do some licensing issues. And I remember in 2006 we had a, I guess you could say one of those pop-up Halloween stores. I went in there because they were just opening, and I'll never forget my expression when they had the pig mask and they had Billy, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was the first one in my town to have it, and I was walking around all around town with that shit. Little by little, because I was still working at Hot Topic, they would get a lot of like Hot Topic exclusive stuff. So they get like certain little figures and things, and I bought every one of them that I could. Still to this day, I still have them all, every single thing. The only things I haven't collected was some of the newer stuff because it's just like reprints of things. But I know when Universal Studios, they did what was it? They did Saw in 2009 and 2010, the first 2 years. The first year I went in 2009, they had these Hot Toy dolls. I don't know if Hot Toys is still around, but it's a full.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Oh, they still are? Oh shit.
Yeah, they are. They're still $300-400 too, man. Like,
fuck.
I had a Batman Hot Toy. It was Keaton, and like they
released a Billy doll like a year ago. It was like $100 or so, something like that. I wanted to get it.
But like,
it's
Keaton,
like
the pores on his face.
Scale.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I got it all, dude. I remember, I'll never forget at the time, my girlfriend at the time, we went over there. And the first thing before we went into Halloween Horror Nights, I said, all right, let's make a run for it. You know, go into the store, let's get everything that we can because I want to enjoy the park and go through the Saw maze. I went through it like 15 times in one swoop, dude. You know, and I almost ended up on the Saw 6 DVD. I almost ended up on the Saw 6 DVD, man. But,
yeah. The scenes from the park, from Hollywood. Yeah.
It was just, awesome. Yeah, because I saw that and somebody got scared and I said, all right, fool, go ahead, pass me. And, you know, the camera had caught his reaction when he was walking out instead of mine. And I was like, fuck, that could have been me on there, man. I was pissed. But, you know, when I was there, I remember everybody was looking at me all weird because I was buying all this. I was going in there like fucking Michael Jackson. I'll take this. I'll take 2 of those.
Going hard, son. Going hard. Yeah, dude. You can do it, man. Shit.
I dropped probably about like $2,000 in cash just for everything Saw because it said Halloween Horror Nights and it showed Billy, you know, whether it was shot glasses,
exclusive
figures.
And it's the one-time only stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And the Hot Toys that they had was an exclusive only to Universal Studios. I don't know if they still have them now because mine's numbered with like 300. But what they are, they're an 18-inch figure of John in the full robe. You can put on an actual latex mask on him with the pig mask, and it had real hair. And it had like the gauntlet where you can pull it and then it would shoot out. And I was like, oh,
Hot Toys,
shit.
Joke, dude. Hot Toys are no joke. Did it have the rolling eyeballs? Like you could adjust his eyeballs?
Yeah, every single thing.
Yeah,
and like you said, man, it was like $400. And I'll never forget because I went there with my girlfriend at the time. And man, the whole time she was pissed because I dropped that much on everything. She goes, what the hell are you going to do all this? I'm like, it's Saw. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah. I'm like, I don't complain with you. You go and get your makeup stuff. I mean, you know, and I paid for that shit.
Got him. You know, that's funny, man.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man, dude. With all that, I mean, I love collecting stuff. I actually have what was it? One of the props. I still haven't opened this up yet, but I have one of my props from It Chapter 2.
That's pretty cool.
I dig it. Oh, I like it. I like it. I want one of those balloon lights. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those look really cool.
He had one. He was like, yeah. So
yeah,
that's
my
dope,
house
man.
is
That's
like a
dope.
whole horse shop almost.
You should see the studio. Well, it's the den, but I try to sound, whatever. Here, look, just check it out, dude. We got comic books. I got fucking.
Oh
I
shit,
got some shit, dog. I got some shit. So
that's
I got a
badass.
fucking 3 foot tall Vader. I that fucks me up sometimes because I'll think it's a midget in a costume hiding next to the shelf. And I'm like, you sneaky fuck. Like, if the lights are off, it'll just kidding, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm a collector too. I wanted to ask you, was it Dead by Daylight?
Mm-hmm.
The pig is in that game. Now, are you a gamer? Were you like, oh, and yeah.
Oh, dude. I'm a huge gamer. The only thing is though, I love Xbox. I can't do PlayStation anymore since PS2. When they went to whole PS3 and they screwed people over with that, I was like, nah, dude, I'm gonna stick with Xbox. But Dead by Daylight, my best friend, I told him, I said, dude, let me buy this game. I'll pay for everything. Just let me play it over there. And he's like, all right, because he has kids. He's like, you have to wait till they go in the other room. I'm like, all right. And I remember the only reason why I bought this friggin' game was so I could play it as Saw. And I absolutely fucking loved it, dude. And as much as oh yeah, dude, like now you bring it back to the itch of me wanting to go and get a PS4 just so I could play that game, dude, because I'm just like, fuck, it's so fucking fun,
See, all right, the thing I don't like about modern games is you have to have Wi-Fi, you have to have all this fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. I'm like a Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo dude.
Yeah, plug in and play.
Yeah, it's physical media. I own it, motherfucker. Like I can smell it and stick it in my pants if I want. But I don't have to be like juiced up into the system to play it. And like, that's why I never bought the Friday the 13th game. I bought a copy because I'm a sicko like you with Saul. That's how I am with Jason. And I've never played it. I bought it just to put it on the shelf. And like, I'll walk by and I'm like, this is sad, Slinky, because I can't play that motherfucker. Like, it sucks.
Hey, that's nothing wrong with that, man.
Game.
Well, I can say I got it, man. It's mine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You're savoring it,
Yeah. Savoring.
Well,
that's it.
I love the original games from way back from the NES days. I have
Friend's dead.
Oh
shit. Love it. Yeah, because Mrs. Voorhees is Medusa and shit. That game's all shut the fuck out. Shut up.
Well, I bought a Super Nintendo Mini, and they have where you can put like Hackchi, and you can put all the Sega games and everything. So I went to town on it, man. I put every single game that I could on there, and I'll play. My favorite one I'm hooked on right now is Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES.
Okay, yeah, I had that one.
I love that game, but man, dude, it's a fucking like. I don't know. I got to be on something to play that game because it's like you're playing and it goes into like, the dream mode, and then you have fucking snakes coming after you, and then you have like Avenged Sevenfold Skull wing bats and shit chasing after you.
Is just man, fuck your mom, dude. Yeah, seriously. Oh, okay. The producer just fucking gave me the stink eye. We're having a fucking blast. Holy shit, dude.
I'm sorry, I was going to sleep. I was like,
okay.
Get out of red.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no. So, yeah. You see, fuck. You came in and fucked me up, man. Totally mind wipe. Brain fart. Couldn't help it.
It's not like you didn't know I was here.
Motherfucker. Anyway, you got any more questions, man? Like, I'm just winging this shit, but I'm having a ball, dude. I'm having a blast with this guy.
It's not a question. I just did want to say that like Jigsaw's voice to me is like very iconic, like Candyman.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a funny story to tell you guys. You guys are gonna shit yourself laughing. I met Tobin Bell when he went to Days of the Dead in LA, and I went over there. It was funny because he had been posting that he was going to go to Days of the Dead. Well, the year before he had dropped out, so there were so many people that wanted to go, and I had left here in Fresno to go to LA. It's about a 3-hour drive, so I got up at 3 a.m. and me and a couple of buddies we went, and I was the first person in line, man. And I'll never forget. Like I was like, "Holy shit, that's Tobin Bell!" And I'm expecting that he has the Jigsaw voice. And when I met him, hearing his voice, I was like, holy shit.
How's it going?
Yeah. Exactly.
I realized that was a different voice it was probably, I think, till 3 or 4 came out. Yeah. And the guy who does his voice started doing the con circuit. And I was like,
oh, so that's not even his voice.
He came down. He was in Florida last year. I'll look his name up. I can send it to you. The voice of Jigsaw. That's how they promoted it. And I was no shit, man. Because I'll sit on the couch, watch TV, and just out of nowhere, I have what I call movie Tourette's. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, I want to play a game. And the producer will look at me and go, shut up, you idiot. And just whatever, man. But yeah, I didn't realize it was not his voice at first.
Me either, because I was watching special features for the first one, and it sounded like the same dude. They must have dubbed it or something. I don't know.
But his voice is totally, absolutely iconic.
Yeah, it was crazy because when I met him, like you do a meet and greet, and he signs whatever, and then afterwards you could take a picture with him. And out of my whole house, the only picture I have is just the picture of me and him when we first met. And when I went to go and take pictures with him too, I'm kind of an average height guy. I'm 5'5", 5'6". I wasn't expecting him to be that tall. And so when I met him, I was like, holy shit, he's tall too.
He's tall dude.
Yeah. It was just, it's one of those things when I met my hero, I was just like, holy shit. Like, I don't know what to say, And I used to, before I was painting masks, I would paint skulls. And I would buy these little plastic skulls or the ceramic skulls like at Michael's. And that's where I really kind of perfected my craft and how to paint. And I use a lot of acrylic, so I would paint skulls. Well, one that I painted looked like Billy, and I gave it to him because I was like, hey, I got to give this to you. Like, you changed everything for me, I mean, it was just that whole you meet your hero thing. Like, you don't know what to say.
Right.
Trust me,
it was such a trip.
Man. Yeah. I totally get it because I'm a graphic artist and we did Tampa Bay Screams and Linnea Quigley was there. Trash from Return of the Living Dead. Linnea Quigley.
Yeah.
Linnea.
Oh yeah.
And I drew a picture of the Tar Man and it's awesome. It says brains behind him and he's fucking slime and shit coming off. Gave it to her and she was like, holy shit, awesome, thank you. So so I been right there. I was like, Trash likes my shit, dude. Yeah. So it was cool. So
that's badass, dude.
Yeah. What? She rubbed her ass on you? Linnea's like 2 feet tall, and I think she was high as fuck because she got lost. And I ran into her in the lobby, and she's just kind of, where the fuck am I? And that's how I got my picture with her.
Oh shit.
And, it was cool. I was like, well, I'll direct you back to the ballroom if you'd let me take a picture. And she's like, it looks like I'm holding a poodle because I'm 6 foot. I'm a fucking tall guy, and Linnea is like 4'9".
Yeah.
So I got my arm around her, and like you see her hair, and it looks like I'm holding a little puppy. It's really funny, man. It's complicated, but fuck it, I got my picture with Trash, so I'm a happy guy.
That's badass, dude. That's badass.
That's cool. That's an awesome feeling, man, to be able to do something and one of a kind. There's not another one like it, and it's stuff.
And then really that they appreciate it too, because it's with art, and I get asked a lot if I sell my masks or anything. I don't sell my masks, but I did one time do a giveaway where I painted a bunch of them. And that was last Halloween when everything was all big about clowns because of Joker, Pennywise because It Chapter 2 came out. So I did, like Joker Henchman, like from the Joaquin Phoenix. I did 3 versions, where it's like clean, little dirty, scruffed up. And then I did the Billy style mask, but I painted it like Pennywise. And when I did that, like people were going crazy, like, how come you don't sell your mask? And I'm like, oh, it's one of a kind, I only do one and done. That's all I do,
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's yours. You created it. It's mine, man. That's mine. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Because I used to get blank hockey masks and I would do the progression on them. You know what I mean? Like a little distressed. Then this one was at the bottom of Crystal Lake. It's all jacked up and I get it, man. I get it. Crit, before we get off, show him the mask that you got from me before we leave. You know.
All right.
Yeah. Because I got a part 7 working now, but I don't want to show it to you because it's just white paint. I haven't distressed it or anything, so I'm not showing you. No, not yet.
No.
Not
I can
yet.
go ahead and grab it right now.
All right, yeah, you know. But so yeah, no, this is great, man, great. So, but that mask you have on right now is fucking killing me, dude. It's bitching.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's crazy because each of my masks, I try to put something in there different. Like for this mask, I put Ouija, you know, kind of like more of a shock value. Oh,
Take it out.
damn, that's badass. That's legit.
Yeah, there's like 5 coats of clear coat on that bitch because I was like, the paint ain't coming off this motherfucker. So, but
yeah, it looks great.
That's badass, dude.
A lot of detail.
That's what, when I saw your masks, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. You know, that's awesome. But yes, you know, great work, sir. Great work.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out my recent one. I actually just posted it today. I'm bringing it over right now so you guys can take a look at it. I plan to later on do episodes of horror films that take place in Mexico or do Mexican horror themes like for an episode. And so I did a Dios de los Muertos one.
Muertos, there we go.
Yeah.
Sure. So I love it, dude. I love it.
Put the Ouija on there. Put all the different, you know.
That's really pretty. Very ornate.
And then I put the teeth, but I didn't do gold. I did copper. The reason being is because I'm Iranian, so we do a lot of copper, and so it's like a play on that, like, hey, I'm Iranian, so it's copper.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to do as close as I can to this mask, so that way, if like, you know, I have an idea for a trailer announcement where Sawguy gets killed off and he goes into like Dios de los Muertos world, and so I'll be rocking this mask. And then the whole mariachi get up, you know, with this rodeo suit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Man. It's very nice. I like it a lot.
Man.
Yeah. Bravo. All right. So wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Damn it, man. I'm having a fucking good time. Oh, well.
We're going to have to do this again sometime, though.
Dude, yeah, listen, hey, you have an open invitation anytime you want to come on. And
hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Man. You know, seriously.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Plug your channel, plug anything you want.
Yeah. If you know, you share stuff, all good. If you want, we'll send you an invite to the Facebook group, Horror After Midnight, and we can fucking nerd out on there. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down, dude. I appreciate that, man.
Awesome. But dude, I had a wonderful time. It was a pleasure. And you know, again, open invitation. Got to do it again sometime. Definitely.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thanks for inviting me on, guys. You know, I'm enjoying everything. You guys are hella cool, and we all had a good time talking horror, man. I mean, you guys are my kind of people. We're all crazy fucks.
Right? Ain't right. You know.
Yeah.
So, awesome. But yes, thank you for your time, man. We greatly appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it, man. I feel honored being on here.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, man.
And
blessed.
Yeah, no, when we post the show, we'll send it to you. We'll tag you, the whole 9. So.
Oh, awesome. Cool. I was wondering, would it be cool if I use like a clip of everything and then kind of hype it up on my page? So it'd be like maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah. Do it to it, man. Do it to it, yeah.
All right.
Because that's cool. You your own fucking spin on it. So I'm really anxious to see that. That's awesome.
All right,
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because I have some pretty crazy ideas in my head right now how to set everything up right now. So I'm like, there's gonna be a good ass promo here.
You fucking sold.
I don't know.
You sold me. That's awesome.
I like to do like a lot of weird twists where you hear like glitching, something, I guess you could say almost poltergeist like on a TV, but then have like a grindhouse feel to it, you know, kind of raw and underground. And I've always appreciated just the underground aspect of things like that, you know?
I'm a huge fan of like 42nd Street Video, grindhouse, exploitation. I grew up watching that stuff. So I have appreciation and love for it. Absolutely. Yeah. They call her One Eye, the Bullet Machine. Don't get me going. So if you
Oh,
want, next
shit.
time we hang out, we can talk about Grindhouse shit, man. So
Oh shit, that'd be badass, dude. That'd be another good topic.
absolutely. All right, she's getting kicked.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned Evil Dead also.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to try to get Evil Dead in, but I was like, damn, dude, we're all talking about Saw, and I was just getting a Saw boner on for a second.
Do a Necronomicon mask.
You know, I was thinking about it because I know I want to do the Fiend Bray Wyatt from wrestling, and I want to do like a Freddy Krueger one. But a lot of my masks, I use like a burn tool, so it kind of burns in like the what do you call it, the texture on the masks. So I might try and do something like that. I am working on a few of them right now, so we'll see. I definitely do want to bring that in.
Man, always looking forward to seeing them. Seriously, yeah, awesome.
I appreciate that, man.
This has been a pleasure, man, and I really look forward to doing this again. Absolutely.
Thanks, man. It was a pleasure being on here, man. I appreciate the invite, guys, always.
Awesome. Well, listen, you stay safe.
Man. It's been a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thanks. You guys be safe too, man.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks. You too, guys. All right. Hey, thanks for having me on, buddy.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all, man. Had a great time.
Yeah, definitely, man. I know I was trying to get everything in with the, with Evil Dead, but I know, like I said, man, I had a Saw boner that came out.
Oh, no, it's all right. I figured we could do that like on another episode sometime or something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, it gives me time, too, because I love that idea of doing a Necronomicon mask. I was like, oh, shit, like that, the light bulb kicked on right now with that.
Yeah,